Please support my channel by clicking on this red subscribe button right below the video. Once you get subscribed to my channel, do not forget to click on this bell icon right next to it in order to get notifications about my latest videos. And last but not least, if you like this video, please click on this like button in order to show me your love. Hey guys, Shabazz here from Adamsafe908 and I'm back with the new video for you guys. In today's video, I'm going to show you guys how to install Windows operating system on your Android device. We're going to use a virtual machine for our Android device that's called Limbo. This is one of the famous virtual machine for Android device, like how we have a VMware on our Windows computer and VirtualBox for Windows computer. Likewise, we have a Limbo Emulator for our Android device. It's going to be the same installation process which we use to install Windows operating system on our PC. We will follow the same process in this video to install Windows operating system using an image file for an operating system and installing Windows on our Android device. Again, this process is different from the others because others have shown you guys how to boot from a ready-to-use image file. And I'm going to show you guys how to install an operating system from an image file, create a virtual partition in your Android's internal storage, install the Windows operating system onto that virtual partition and boot from that virtual partition in order to complete the installation, like how we do on our PC or else on a computer. So link of the downloads will be in the description. I'm going to only share with you guys the link for Limbo Emulator. You guys can click on the link in the description to download and install Limbo Emulator on your Android device. If you guys want, you guys can go ahead and download the ISO file for Windows XP. It's free on Microsoft website. Just go to Google search and type in Windows XP download. You guys will get the link to download Windows XP. Enough of the talk already. Without wasting any further ado, let's get this video going. Alright guys, so let's start the video. This is the mobile device which we will be using for this video. This is Samsung Galaxy S7 and it has got internal storage of 64 GB and the RAM memory of this phone is 4 gigs, which is sufficient for us to complete this process and install Windows XP on this phone. First of all, I'm gonna have to go to Play Store and type in Limbo. That's Limbo. The first search result will be the one which we are looking out for. So we're gonna click on the first result. Once you get this, just wait guys, I think I have locked the I think I've locked the focus. That's why it's changing the brightness of the camera by itself. So yeah, Limbo PC emulator and ARM X286. That means this is the right one. Okay, I'm gonna do it in front of you so that things will work real time. I'm gonna click on accept. So it's installing the virtual emulator. Guys, you're gonna have to be really specific when it comes to virtual machine because Limbo is the only emulator which will work for this process. It has been installed. I'm gonna open it. So once you click on open, it will give you option to get a latest version or get a new version. The first option is the right one, Limbo x86 PC emulator. Please don't get confused by the second, third and the fourth option. All of them will not work. The first option is the right option to go for. I'm going to click on the first link, this link here, Limbo Android x86 ARM 4.0.0 APK, but the version will be upgraded. I'm going to click on this 4.0.0 APK file and then it will start downloading the APK file. It's fully downloaded. I'm going to click on this and it will again give you option to install this emulator, which I'm not gonna install because I have already installed this emulator. So once you open the emulator, it will look like this. So all these options are the only options which comes up in each and every version of Limbo, so please do not get confused. The option will still gonna remain the same. So this small drop down here which you can click, and now you can click on new to create a new Windows XP machine. Okay, a virtual machine for Windows XP. So I'm gonna click on Windows XP which I created right here. I'm not gonna create a new machine because I already have one prepared for you guys. So I'm gonna click on this and I'll show you guys the settings which I've used for this machine so that you guys can also use the same settings to get the work done. You guys have to click on this user interface first and the drop down will remain the same. Display, you're gonna have to click on this drop down and select SDL. Keyboard is going to remain the same, English, United States. Mouse is going to be PS2. Orientation will be auto. Full screen will be ticked. Once you click on CPU board, you guys will get these options. So architecture, you're gonna have to click on this drop down and select x64 because we are installing Windows 64-bit, so you're gonna have to make sure you click x64. Now machine type will be PC. There will be different machine types here, please do not get confused. Click on this PC. CPU model, you guys can go for any one of these. I basically prefer Core 2 Duo because it works great for Windows XP. You guys can also click on EV Bridge or else Haswell, and it's time for you to select the cores. I'm gonna keep this machine for single core because we are any which ways installing Windows XP. You can also keep 8 core, that's not a problem. I mean, it will still work the same way, doesn't make any difference at all. I have tried it, but it remains the same. RAM memory is going to be 2 GB, the maximum. Disable TSC will be checkmarked, and I'm gonna again minimize it. Now this is the important part, guys. You have to be really careful when you come to this option which says disk. Click on disk. We can allocate 4 different drives in our Windows XP, like how we do in our computer. So the first option is hard disk A. I have checkmarked this box and I have selected this one. So once you click on this drop down, it will, these are the number of C drives which I created. So guys, please do not get confused by this. Once you click on that drop down, you guys will have to click on new. Once you click on new, it will ask you to name the partition. Once you write the name of the drive, you're gonna have to click on this drop down and go for 10 GB growable. It will come to this same page. Now in this page, you're gonna have to click on change directory. Once you click on change directory, it will open this file explorer window. Now in this file explorer window, you're gonna have to make sure you come at the root folder of your phone's internal storage. So I'm gonna click on this one and I'm gonna go for Adams 8908. This is the phone's internal memory. I'm gonna click on this. So this will open the root folder of my phone's internal storage. Now here I have to click on this 3 buttons right here. This 3 buttons right here, that stands for option. Now I'm gonna click on new folder and I'll create a new folder called Windows XP C partition. So once I click on Windows XP C partition, so let me just create something we say C. Okay, I've created this folder and now I'm in the C drive. Once I click on select, in this C folder of my phone's internal storage, there will be a virtual partition, virtual C drive, which will be created into my phone's internal storage for Windows XP. So this virtual machine will create a C drive partition, a virtual C drive partition into this C folder, which is there in the root folder of my phone's internal storage. But I'm not going to click on select because if I click on select, my existing settings will be deleted. But this is how you guys do it. So once you go back, there will be something. Okay, I think I forgot which one I selected previously. This is the one which I selected for my Windows installation, so I selected that drive. Now come to removable, and here you're gonna have to mark this option which says CD-ROM, and then you're gonna have to click on this drop down. Once you click on this drop down, you'll have to click on open. Once you click on open, it will ask you to select the Windows image file, the Windows XP operating system image file to boot your virtual machine from. So I'm going to click on Windows XP Professional. I'm into my ISO folder already. I'm going to click on Windows XP Professional Service Pack 3 ISO image file, and it has been selected here. Virtual machine will boot from this CD-ROM. Now this is the last part which you guys have to make sure you do it right, and this is also a crucial part. The other option is boot. Now this is the option which is asking you which drive you want to boot your virtual machine from. So I'm going to click on this drop down, and I'm going to click on CD-ROM because we are loading our ISO image using this CD-ROM. So I have selected boot device from CD-ROM. Now keep these two as none, and when it comes to graphics card, I'm going to click on this, and make sure you keep it STD, that means a standard. For audio, I always used to keep AC97, and for network, I'm going to click on network. Now click on the drop down and click on user, and your network card is going to be PCNet, or else you guys can also keep E1000. For this time, we will go for this one, NE2K PCI. So guys, these all are the settings which you guys have to do in order to load Windows XP on your virtual machine. Now, this is the last option. You're gonna have to make sure you check mark this box which says high priority. Now we are done, guys. That was the last. Now high priority was the last one which you guys have to do. So I'm gonna start this virtual machine, but before I start this virtual machine, I'm gonna have to make sure I have my keyboard, the physical keyboard and physical mouse ready for the process, because this process will need a physical keyboard, because sometimes the virtual keyboard doesn't work. It doesn't gives you the option to go up and down, because there's gonna be a part where it will ask you to select the partitioning method or to select the format method, like NTFS quick format, FAT quick format, NTFS normal format, or FAT normal format. That arrow key doesn't work sometime in order to select those partitioning method. That's why I keep my physical keyboard ready. I am going to grab my OTG cable just in case. So I'm going to play this. I'm going to turn on my auto rotate option. So guys, as you can see, it's loading up Windows. It's loading up Windows XP files, the drivers, the the DLL files and all. As you guys can see, things are coming up here, and it will take some time, and it will give me option to select a drive on which I want to install my Windows operating system. Alright, so I think I'm gonna have to be ready and prepared for. Now it's going faster. As you guys can see, it's going faster now. Okay, so I'm gonna have to connect the OTG cable, the on-to-go cable, and I'll have to connect my keyboard. Okay, as you guys can see, the keyboard lights up. The keyboard light lights up. That means my keyboard is connected to my phone. Now there is this thing which I connects to my phone whenever I I feel like I need multiple devices to be connected to my phone. It's gone old. It's very old device which I connect, and it's this thing. This is the USB extension box, which gives me option to connect multiple devices to my phone, like keyboard and mouse together. So it has connected the keyboard. So as you guys can see, I am getting option to select a partition to install Windows XP on. So it is already, there is one partition which is unpartitioned space. The memory is I think it's 4 MB. I really don't know why it's showing 4 MB, but I think it's a virtual partition. That's why it's showing less memory here. So I'm gonna click on enter. Okay, I'm gonna click on C to create a partition. Okay, and it's giving me option to number the partition. I mean, to increase or decrease the number of the size of the partition. So I'm gonna click on enter to create. Now one partition has been created. As you guys can see, first partition is partition C, and that's a raw partition. Now I'm gonna click on enter to start the installation. Now this is the part which I was referring to. It's giving me option. It's giving me multiple options to go for. Now if I click on virtual keyboard, it doesn't give me option to move up and down, because we will be using the arrow keys to navigate to the different options right here. But virtual keyboard doesn't has that option. As you guys can see, there is no option to move up and down. I have done a lot of research on this, but it doesn't work, guys, trust me. So I'm gonna click on back to to make that thing disappear. Now these are the options. As you guys can see, I can move this by clicking on the arrow keys. So I'm gonna go for NTFS, the first option which says NTFS quick file system. So click on enter and it will start formatting the partition for my Windows to get installed on. So I'm gonna pause the video right here and I'm gonna restart the video once the partitioning gets done. Now it's gonna install Windows on the formatted partition. As you guys can see, it's written over here, creating a list of files to be copied. So I'm gonna remove the keyboard for now because it eats a lot of battery power. As you guys can see, all of these lights get lit up once I connect this thing. So I'm gonna keep it aside. And now I'm gonna have to connect my mouse, because once the installation gets completed, it starts with the installation, it continues the installation, and that requires, the graphical user interface gets changed and it requires a physical mouse to be connected to your phone. Else you can also work with your fingers. The touchscreen also starts working though. So yeah, a lot of talking already. I'm gonna pause the video right here because it's at 3%, as you guys can see. Guys, I'm sorry, my camera moves once I focus. Yeah, it's at 3%. Now I'm gonna restart the video once it completes 100%. As you guys can see, the setup has completed its process and it's now about to restart itself. You guys can use keyboard, as well as you guys can skip connecting the physical keyboard to your phone, but just to be on the safer side, again I'm gonna have to connect all the accessories just to show you guys that things works real time, and it works great. But still, if you guys want, you guys can still use the mouse and the keyboard together, but you're gonna have to use the USB extension box like this, and you guys can then go for the same. So my mouse works. Now guys, this is not the virtual emulators mouse. This is a Android devices mouse. So there is difference between Android mouse, the Android systems mouse, and the virtual emulator mouse. So if you guys want to activate the virtual emulators mouse, you're gonna have to click on the back arrow key. This option will pop up on the top of the screen. You're gonna have to click on this mouse icon and it will give you two options to go for. You guys can either select the trackpad mouse. This will be working great. Like, you can actually touch anywhere on the screen and the mouse will come there. As well as you guys can go for the second option, that is Bluetooth and USB mouse desktop mode. If you click on this, my mouse will activate. I'm talking about the virtual emulators mouse. Yeah, so for now I'm gonna disconnect my extra peripherals so that I don't face any issues. Now it's still stuck at this point which says please wait while setup initialize your Windows XP configuration. Now it's loading the information files. Okay, this is the file which is getting loaded. If my camera can focus there. Okay, perfect. So this is the file which is getting loaded. It's gonna take some time. Guys, during this process you have to wait a lot because it will take a lot of time for this process to complete. Trust me, this is just like 20% of the process. When it comes to completing the other half of the next process which is going to start, it will take approximately an hour depending upon your device configuration. If you guys are using a device which has got good amount of RAM memory, like 6 GB or 8 GB of RAM memory, it will complete itself a little bit faster. The other part will be taken care of a little bit faster. But if you guys are using the same device as I'm using right now, so as you guys can see, it's booted. Again, it's giving me option to go for 5 seconds boot from the CD drive. I just skipped it because I don't want to boot from the CD-ROM. It's now booting from the second option, which is the hard drive. So as you guys can see, it's booting up Windows XP, and now it has booted from the virtual drive I created for my virtual machine. So it's booting from the C drive. If you guys want to use it, use a trackpad. So I'm going to remove the mouse. So as you guys can see, I'm able to use the cursor by moving my finger on the screen. So this is how we can use the cursor. And when it comes to keyboard, my keyboard is connected to this extension box. I'm gonna remove this extension box because I don't need it. I don't want to connect multiple devices to my virtual machine because the screen goes smaller. Now in between, it will also bring up this box which will give you two options to select. You guys can just keep this radio button ticked and click on this box by taking cursor on this box, and you're gonna have to bring up the virtual keyboard and you have to type in home, HOME. So home is the thing you're gonna have to type in, and now you can just click on next in order to start the process again. So once you click next, it will take time to move further. Now again, the setup will start its process, so you have to wait again. As I mentioned earlier, it will give you a couple of more things to select, but you have to wait now. It just popped up this thing which says personalized settings, if you guys can see, and it is probably loading up the personalized settings for Windows XP like how it used to do in our computer. So you guys have to wait and it will be there soon. So I'm going to pause the video and I'm going to resume the video once the desktop screen is ready to use. So guys, as you can see, this is it. This is my desktop screen, the fully functional Windows XP. Now you're gonna have to wait till the time everything loads up properly. This is the desktop screen which is working absolutely fine. As you can see, the pop-up is there. I am going to close this pop-up by clicking on this and it will close itself. I'll just show you guys that the things are working properly by clicking on start. I'll go to Internet Explorer. It says Windows Internet Explorer here, and it's loading up the page. Okay, the internet connection works. I am definitely sure Google will also work because it loaded the MSN page. The graphic still gives us the glitch, but it's working, guys. Okay, so the control panel page is loading up. I think it has loaded things here. As you can see, all the options are intact and they are in place. We've got desktop items here, so I'm gonna go to my computer and check mark this box, which will bring the my computer icon on my desktop screen. I'm going to click on OK, and I'm going to click on apply, and okay, apply, and then I'll click on OK. Now it will bring the my computer icon on my desktop screen. All right, as you guys can see, this is my computer icon here. And it's on my desktop screen. So this is my computer window. As you guys can see, I've got C drive here, and I've got this CD-ROM which shows me that there is ISO image file already loaded. So that's it, guys. This is Windows XP working on our Android device. So this is the part one of this process. In this video, I was specifically focusing on the installation process, wherein I have given you guys instructions just to let you know everything works fine, but it takes a lot of time. There is lag and there is slowness. It works really slow. So I'm gonna have to figure out the way how to make this thing performs properly on our Android phone. Though everything works fine, but it still takes a lot of time to open a single application. So guys, this was just a part one of this video. There are two more parts to come. The second part is going to be how to make this thing perform faster on our Android device. And the third part is going to be how to install other OS like Windows 7 and Windows 10. So that's it, guys. That's how you install Windows operating system on your Android device. So if you guys like this video, please give me a thumbs up. You guys can write down your questions in the comments box down there. Guys, we also have part 2 of this video, so please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, Adam898. So yeah, thanks a lot for watching this. Stay tuned for my next video. Until then, peace.